When I removed my fingers from my arse there was crap on them. The scene resembled a dystopian Blue Peter episode. I've never felt so low after a wank as I did after that one. What is the guiltiest fap you have ever had? Thanks for coming to another storytime with your favorite storyteller Andrew. You're going to love this one. While you're here, why not hit subscribe and the like button? It really helps with the algorithm. If you don't, I'll delete your Fortnite account. Anyways, let's get into the stories. I've sometimes touched myself after seeing my roommate go at it with a guy. I always feel a little guilty weird when I do. Edit. I'm a girl, and I'm not interested in my roommate. While in high school, my girlfriend called me one night mid-fap. She proceeded to inform me that her grandmother had died. I stayed on the phone to console her and finished the fap as I prayed with her. I'm garbage. I once fapped to the idea of having sex with one of my mom's really hot friends before going to sleep. Woke up the next morning to find out she'd killed herself that night. That was something that nobody I know will ever find out about. When I was 12, I was staying at my grandmother's house. It was late at night and we were watching TV. After about an hour she dozes off and I switched to the Playboy channel and went to work with her 2 feet away from me. Still haunts me to this day. Edit. What I neglected to mention out of embarrassment. We were both on her bed. Edit. One of my darkest secrets has now become my most upvoted post on Reddit FML. Church camp meeting. In the tent with parents asleep on the other side of the tent. Hear moaning from somewhere off. Figure damn, someone is going at it at church camp, that's hot as hell. I then proceed to stealth fap. Finish up. Wake up and then go meet with some people I'd met the day before. Turns out the guy's friend is mentally handicapped and they were camped just a few rows over. Not someone going at it but his brother having an episode. One morning, after a night of heavy drinking, I woke up at 5 a.m. completely feeling like crap. Couldn't move, was going to die. I figure, I'll fap and try to make myself feel better. Was too sick to go to the computer. So I turned on my TV and the It's Always Sunny DVD I had inside the player. I turned on the episode where Sweet D dresses like a whore to seduce a politician. Paused it on a freeze frame of whore Sweet D. Fapped. Did not make me feel better. Was watching TV news coverage of a big sporting event for school. Had to do a report on it. It didn't look like anything crazy was happening and I got bored, so I went and fapped. 20 minutes later I found out the event I was watching, the Boston Marathon, had been bombed and all my classmates were there. I was the only one at home as I couldn't make it to Boston. In my post-fap days, I had to contact everyone including our teacher to make sure they were okay and saw all of the NSFW NSFL pictures just after fapping and had to backtrack to see what I missed so I could report on the media coverage later. Absolute shame. My dad had passed away in the master bedroom of our house. After we had sorted through his possessions, got his affairs in order and grieved, my mum decided that she didn't want the master bedroom as it was too large. As a result, I took the room after it was redecorated. The first time I fapped in there, it occurred to me that my dad had died in the room which I was now fapping in. I think that is the only fap I've ever felt guilty for. I have to listen to my mom have sex due to how noisy she is. I feel repulsed when I hear it and put my earphones in to drown out the noise. One night I hear her going again, but this time for some reason I just needed to fap, so I'm listening and fapping. She's probably dildoing herself or something. After 5 minutes I heard her walk down the hallway and come downstairs, so I put my dick away and looked casual. She opened the door and she was upset. She had woken up in the night in severe pain and was actually crying from it. It's not my fault her sex and crying noise is so similar. But yeah, I fapped to the sound of my mom crying in pain. It's one of those things that will haunt me forever. When I was 11 or so, ABC aired a movie with nudity in it, uncensored and with limited commercial interruption. I'd only just discovered masturbation the previous summer. It was the 90s. I never got to see tits, like ever. But I got to see tits that night. My dad was sitting on one couch in the living room. I was laying on another couch. With a blanket over me. We watched. So many naked women. Cannot contain boner. A scene where dozens of nude women are shepherded into some sort of chamber. Trying hard not to shake the blanket while getting my strokes in. Nude women are trapped in room, scared. Then, overhead sprinklers drench the nude women in cool refreshing water, much to their nude women relief. I came. It was Schindler's List. I masturbated during Schindler's List with my dad in the room. I broke my left arm and dislocated my right shoulder in 2 separate skateboarding accidents. High school was fun, wasn't it? Being a horny little teenager, I felt the urge to splooge about 2 days after getting fitted for a cast. I took off my shoulder brace and had the most painful fap I've ever experienced. I felt my shoulder bones rubbing against each other, but I was still rock hard. Naturally, all this pain made the fapping take longer, and I couldn't even look at porn due to being grounded from the skateboarding incidents. Had to create an account for the first time because this moment haunts me to this day, and I think about it relatively frequently. I must have been between 10 to 12 at this point because it was right around the time I first discovered masturbation, so I was pretty jacked up about it. I was in the car with my mom to run an errand in our little downtown area, and she parked in the strip of spots that are literally right in front of all the local shops. Literally meaning the car is no more than 15 feet from the window of the shop we are parked in front of. My mom went inside the bakery or some crap to do whatever she had to do, and I stayed in the front seat of the car. I couldn't wait until I got home, so I figured, for God knows what reason, that I should pull my dick out and start jerking it. I can still remember looking in the ducking eyes of people walking on the sidewalk not 5 feet in front of me, beating my dick like it owed me money. There must be some repressed memory crap going on because I have absolutely no idea if I finished. It's such a surreal moment in my life I can't even believe it really happened, nor can I understand what the duck came over me that day to make me think that was okay to do. This is the first time I have even acknowledged in any sense that that crap really happened. Edit. Holy duckin' crap, I didn't think anyone was going to read this. I had bought a Clone a Willy kit to use with my girlfriend, although she broke up with me before we had the chance to make it. Being curious about the wonders of the prostate orgasm, I decided to make it myself so I could try ducking myself in the arse with it. Armed with some vile porn and an array of arts and crafts tools, I set about business in the bathroom. I watched the porn and got a strong erection as I measured the temperature of my water that I had to mix with the molding powder, waiting for it to cool to 32°C. I should have used a cock ring because I completely lost my erection as I frantically mixed the molding powder and poured the contents into the penis tube. I did my best to regain a hard-on within the time limit and tried to jam my penis into the tube, but the mixture had already set. Feeling pissed off and horny, I shoved 2 fingers up my arsehole and masturbated on my knees whilst thinking about my ex-girlfriend until I came on the bathroom floor. When I removed my fingers from my arse, there was crap on them. The scene resembled a dystopian Blue Peter episode. I've never felt so low after a wank as I did after that one. Edit, thanks for the gold. Not sure whether to be proud or ashamed to have had one of the guiltiest faps in history. You can put me in cuffs, but I won't come quietly. When I was a kid, every summer I got sent to grandma camp where my brother, my cousins and I basically stayed in a cabin in the woods with my grandma and my great aunt and learned Bible verses and crap. Anyway, grandma camp eventually ends and my dad is driving me, my brother, and my great aunt to her place in Jersey because she was too old to drive. Being the little dorky 12-year-old that I was, I would play games on my laptop with a blanket over my head to avoid glare from the evil sun, which I had seen far too much of already that week. So, I figured as long as I had my shields up already, why not whack it to the porn that I had stored on my laptop? I plug in my headphones and have at it. It wasn't until I finished that I realized, to my complete abject horror, that I hadn't plugged my earbuds into the laptop all the way, and the sound had been coming out of my laptop speakers the entire time. I had just clanged my magical twanger to porn at full volume, under a blanket, on the interstate, in a car full of my relatives, on the way home from grandma camp. To this very day, no one has ever mentioned a thing about it. I still hope that the neurons do me a big favor and repress the hell out of the 4 of our memories one day. Thanks for watching. What did you think of the story time? Let me know in the comments below. If you liked the video, smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any more story times.